Good morning, y'all. I hope you're all having a good day. Uh, Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. I think I was a little tired up. But the other day I made a video about how God calms the storm, and He really does. But you can also, during them times of storms, you can call on God, and He'll comfort you through them storms. He will let you know he's there holding you through them storms. He'll let you know that you're going to be all right. Uh, y'all, thank you for all the views and everything I've gotten since I've started this channel, and all the likes and subscribers and everything. I really appreciate y'all and all the prayers um, that I've received and that others have received. And let's remember to keep praying for everybody. Um, like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you watch this out to the end, that would be good. If you know anybody that needs some encouragement to um, feel better, to find someone to lean on and someone that can hold them up, that would be God. And please spread the word. With that being said, let's get back to this. Yesterday could have been a very rocky day. It, as rough as it is for most people um, to end up going to the emergency room, and how upset they can be and how they can be so demanding. Now. Um, I could have been that yesterday. However, I chose to call on God. I chose to let God hold me and comfort me. And I never got frustrated or upset or anything. I did get scared a couple times they were going to tip me off the thing when they rolled me, but you know, um, I needed to call on God even more then. But you know, God took care of me. I was in God's hands, and the whole ordeal could have been very bad. But God got me through it in a good way, in a positive way, in a way that I knew I had Him wrapped around me. Um, he got me through. Uh, well, when I was headed out, I want to thank the all the local um, EMS and fire department. They really took good care of me, and all the staff at the hospital, the emergency room. They really took good care of me. And right out way on the way out, going down the ramp, it was wet, it was slippery, and uh, the poor guys at the front of the thing slid all the way down the ramp and then fell. One of them fell all the way. The other one, I think, fell like to his knees or something. And their only concern was making sure the cart didn't run away with me. And the thing was, I, I felt so bad for them. I was so afraid they were hurt, really. Really bad. I thought we was going to run over that one guy, and but he got to his feet and he took care of me, making sure I was all right. When I it had to hurt. He had to be hurt. I mean, he says he wasn't, but um, I guess I shouldn't call him a liar. I guess if he says he wasn't hurt, he probably wasn't then. But I mean, I feel so bad for him, and I don't. If I knew how to check on him, I would. But that could have started out this whole experience really bad. I didn't even think about it at the time, uh, it was pointed out to me later that, a car could have tipped over or something. And they said their only concern was me, but my concern was the two guys that was at front trying to keep that cart going good and falling and stuff. I don't know. It could have been very disastrous, but God was there. That's basically what I'm getting at is as well they were concerned about me when they were the ones that were getting hurt. God was there with his arms around me, keeping me from getting any more hurt than I was to begin with for having to call him. And they did such a wonderful job, and God must have had his hands on them too. Because that one that fell all the way down, I know it had to hurt. And he was up so quick after he fell, worried about me. And I, you just, people like that, God's touched them. God's holding them in their hands so they can do the right thing and not hurt, and, you know, God put me when that was going on. I've never panicked about it. I've never been upset about it. Wasn't worried about it. God had me. God was using them to get me down the ramp safely. So, I worried more for them. It, God has to be their comforter too because He took care of them. And, getting me to the hospital and it was a bumpy ride. I felt like I was going to tip right off that little thing I was laying on. Just boom, boom, boom. And, but he reassured me I wouldn't, and he was, the guy that rode back there with me was a really nice guy, really nice guy. And, I couldn't ask for better people. And that's because God gave me people who are loving and caring and they wanted to make sure not only that I would be all right, but that I mentally would be all right. I would be able to not be upset or freaked out or scared or anything like that. And, you know, that's got to be God. And I ask God several times, will you make sure this is all right? Will you make sure that's all right? Will you get me home to Sandy tonight? So because I don't want her alone in that house. And everybody talks about how slow everything goes in the emergency room. And for me, all the tests, the results, everything come back, boom, 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 right away. The only test result I had to wait for very long was a CT scan, which it come back good. I mean, they didn't find any blood clots in my leg, no fractures in my knee. My kneecap's where it belongs and everything. Um, that the CT scan pretty much confirmed that, and but when they first come in there, I told the doctor I don't want any narcotics, none. Don't give me no narcotics. And about the strongest is Tylenol. I don't really want anything stronger. And he did suggest Toradol to take the swelling out of my knee and to ease some of the pain. And after I got the Toradol, which I told him no to start with, I said, let me think about it. If I can't take this much longer, then maybe I'll go ahead and do that. So about half hour later, maybe, I decided I'll go ahead and try the Toradol because I couldn't bend my knee more than a couple of inches. And the swelling from the Toradol, the swelling started going down good. And the doctor had come in and he told me, he thought what was going on with my knee was a lot of swelling. It was, it was really extremely swelled up. And I said, well, can that being swelled up so much be why I can't put any weight on it? And he said, yeah, that would cause that kind of pain. And um, I just asked God, through this whole thing, I just asked God, will you take care of me? Will you do what needs to be done to get me home? And I went ahead and told the doctor, I'll try the Toradol. And so of course then I laid there for a while, and they did that IV Toradol stuff, and laid there for a while, and I started moving my knee a little bit to pull up my legs so my feet weren't hanging over, because every time they come past, um, when they put, I don't know who it was, or they put somebody else over on the other side, and whenever they put took any equipment in there, or, put him in there, uh, it was real close to the end of my bed, so I pulled my legs up, and it just kept coming up further and further, and the doctor come in there. It was a little while, but he was given time for that Toradol to work on. But I think one of the things people don't realize is the medicine's got to have time to work before they let you go. It's got to have time to do its job, so that he knows that that solved the problem. He come in there and I moved my leg. Look at this. I said, and I know I've pushed up, pulled my leg up and pushed up on the bed a little bit, and it's not. I mean, there ain't hardly any pain now. And so we put something on my leg, and um, I don't know how to get it back on, but overnight it slid down so far the metal rod was poking into the top of my feet. They're blunted and rounded, so they didn't like punch holes in them or nothing. But uh, I got to figure out how to get it back on. But he suggested putting that on, and we could try putting weight on it. And they come up with the wheelchair by the side of the door, and then brought a little walker in there. And I got up and just put all my weight on. They said just a little bit. I said I already got all my weight on, and I never flinched or blinked or anything. So all the time I was asking God, please help me, please get me home, please, just keep thing. And the thing is, you can't just ask God for something, and then when He does it, just ignore Him and just go on about your business because you got your prayer answered. But I thanked Him all the way through it. Thank you for that being so easy. Thank you for letting them do this, and everything going so quickly and so easily, and whatnot, because that was God's doing. And so when everything was done and said, and I didn't, they thought they were going to discharge me, kind of. Some wouldn't really say, but I had a couple that said they thought he might let me go home, but they weren't sure. Next thing you know, and I never talked to him about whether I was going home or not for sure. He said if I could put weight on it, I might, that I might be able to go home. But um, pretty soon they come in there, and when they come in with the walker, I just stood right up and put the weight on it before they said don't hardly put any weight on it. And they said something about going home, and I said, you'll be discharging me then. She said, I have your discharge papers right here. So I had no idea they were working that far on it. I mean, I was surprised with the discharge papers in her hand. The last I knew, they didn't know if they were going to discharge me or not. That was God making it so I could come home. And my ride, she was wonderful. I like hot baked fresh rolls and get them out of the freezer department. And I had some rising when I started having the problem and had to leave. And now she come back. She was not on the clock. She couldn't get on the clock because she'd already worked, And she come back and she baked them rolls and stayed here and did it. And she, checked on Sandy, made sure she was doing all right and everything. And then when the rolls was done, she left and she was running extremely late for her other job. So I knew it was going to be a little bit before she got off work, and I messaged her and told her, don't stress. I'm in the emergency room waiting room, and about the time I sent that message, I received one from her because she knew I had gotten my discharge papers, and they were getting ready to take me wherever I was going to sit um, until she got there. And she sent me a message saying she was on her way. So she had already, I'd gotten a message that said she was doing her checklist, and then I got a message that said she was on her way probably 20 or 30 minutes before I thought she'd even be done. And then she showed up just right after that, 10, 15 minutes. I don't think I even waited that long. I think it was more like about 5. It sure didn't seem longer than 5 minutes. So, but it might have been because there's just a lot going on, and I just prayed to God get me home. And the hospital had called EMS and arranged with them a courtesy help into the house because I wasn't sure how I was going to get in if I would be able to get up the ramp, walk up the ramp. I don't have a wheelchair. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to walk up the ramp or not. And they said, yeah, if they weren't busy, they would. Otherwise, they'd get a hold of the fire department and they should be able to do it. So we had made arrangements with Sandy's cousin that if something fell through there, because you don't know when there's going to be a fire or something, and their first priority should be to the emergency at hand, like a fire or like somebody needing to get to the emergency room for medical attention or whatever. So not someone coming home. So anyway, we had something worked out so that if that fell through. But um, when my ride, I'd call her by name, and I really, if I knew I could, and maybe I don't know if she would want her name on here, but if I knew it's okay, I'd give her name. But anyway, uh, um, as we were coming back to the house, the fire truck pulled right out behind us and headed right our way, and it followed us almost completely here. It took a different corner, but as we pulled up in front of the bridge, it come right up, kind of just went around us a little bit and backed up to the front of the car. And the two guys got out to help me, and it just happened to be the two guys that about fell. Well, one of them fell, and the other one went down about his knees. Um, so my first question to them are you all right? You're not hurting from falling? And they're no, they're fine. So I pray that they're still fine and not sore this morning. The day after. And anyway, they helped me up into the house, and my home health care attendant. Again, she was doing all this and she couldn't get on the clock. It was something I don't think she would have been even able to get on the clock. But she goes way far beyond, sometimes what her job description is. And a lot of times when she's not working, she's just doing it to take care of us. And she had met me at the door when they got me to the door with my walker. And now, now the only thing is I'm doing good. They sent me home with something just like the Toradol. I started it this morning, and I'm doing fine today with the walker. I'm getting around. Um, that's God. That's all God. I asked Him to get me through this. I asked Him to take care of me. I asked Him, I prayed. When someone was asking, it was I prayed. Will you do this for me, God? Will you make them hands of yours comfort me and take care of me and heal me and get me where I can take care of Sandy? Because I know I have to be there for her. I know that she does not need to be in that house alone. I know she had a good backup. I know if she'd have called the either one of the two people that she had on her thing, they would have been over here as quick as they could. And I thank them both for that. But it's God did it all. He got everything in a way that I knew Sandy would be taken care of if I couldn't make it back for a while. So worked out good. God took care of me. He answered my prayers. He put me at home this morning. Last night I come home yesterday. Um, but he put me here so I can take care of Sandy. Can't do as much as I was doing because of the walker, but hey, at least I'm here. So, and you know, I can do almost everything I could do before. So I'm just like on air, thanking God. Don't forget to thank God. Always give God the praise. Always, you know, accept that He's the one that did it. We couldn't do it ourselves. He's the one that did it. And for me, He did it through the hands of the EMS, through the hands of the fire department, through the hands of the staff at the emergency room, through the hands of Sandy's cousin, and in the hands of our home health care worker. And I don't even know who else was part of that, getting things taken care of yesterday. But none of them could have done that to take care of me without God. And praying to Him, my prayers to Him, He used all these people. He helped all these people, or showed all these people, the doctor, everybody, how to take care of me and get me home so I could be here for Sandy. And for that, I'm very thankful to Him. And when y'all have a time like this and, something happens, just remember, I stayed calm through the whole thing because God calmed me. I did not, well, I shouldn't say the whole thing because I did get a little upset when they were rolling me and I felt I was too close to the edge and going to roll off. They reassured me I wasn't, but I did start to panic a little bit then. And as soon as they laid me down, back down on my back, I'm like, gosh, I should have called on God. But, that's this. As soon as it was over, I was praying to God, and then I was apologizing to Him for not, going to Him right at that moment. But yeah, I leaned on God. I called on God. I prayed to God yesterday to get everything through as quickly, as much as possible. And the only thing that took any time to get me home was at Toradol working, and it didn't take a long time to work. So had I took it, let the doctor give it to me when he first offered, I probably would have been home an hour earlier, or a half hour earlier. So that's really on me, not him. And but they did honor everything else. They made sure it didn't have any narcotics at all in it, and which I'm thankful again for. So and my hair's a little wild today, isn't it? It usually is anyway, but that's my hair from yesterday, being laying back all day. Anyway, I have a good laugh. I know this is an extremely long video, and I apologize for that. But I thought I would share my day yesterday and let you know how I got through it and how it really wasn't bad at all, and how thankful I am to everybody that took care of me, and especially to God and Sandy. I mean, she was great. She was very calm. She was there. I spent a lot of time on the phone with her, and she did great. So my biggest worries was them guys that fell and Sandy being home alone, and it all worked out. But anyway, if y'all liked this video, the best thing you can do for me is to thank God for taking care of me. I'm not even going to ask for all the stuff I ask usually at the end of the video. I'm just going to ask that you all ask God to, or not ask, but y'all thank Him for taking care of me, because that's what He did. And that's the love He showed me, and He gets the glory. And then under Him, all the emergency staff and medical staff and whatnot, and Tabitha. Oh, I can't forget her. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say her name. I'm sorry, Tabitha. Anyway, for doing the ride back and forth, and for Julie for being there if Sandy would have needed her to come get her, to come take care of her. Thank y'all very much. Y'all have a great day. Bye.